Number one claims we see on liability is slip and fall and habitability.
Hey, this is Gino Mattunts from Safe Cal Insurance, and he's a very popular guy now, right? Welcome, Gino Mattunts.
But just show of hands, I want to know who loves their insurance company or agent. So habitability is really a big popular lawsuit type of claim nowadays that comes in where tenant complains of the living conditions or discrimination issues and things like that the management of the property is not done in timely manner, so they're complaining that the conditions are not livable. So that could be wide range of complaints. But basically, if you have a regular policy that's a business owner policy for an apartment building, you either have habitability excluded, habitability is silent, or there's a specific sublimit for habitability. So if you don't have those three factors in your regular business owner policy, you need to, if there's an exclusion of habitability, you need to purchase a professional E&O policy for owner manager that covers uh, things like discrimination, maintenance issues, any other professional services that you offer to the tenant. Just show of hands, how many of you guys got a non-renewal? Everyone got a non-renewal. So what happened with the non-renewal? So let's say you had State Farm or you had Farmers or Mercury, any one of the carriers that's kind of living the space of and being letting a big gap in the industry. So when they're living and you guys are getting non-renewals for many reasons, there could be they want to see update of plumbing, electrical, roof, uh, HVAC, before they insure anything 1975 and older. So there's a lot of that happening now, but there's some carriers that left the state completely. They don't want to write any landlord, type of policies. So what happened is a lot of you guys got offers from non-admitted companies. So non-admitted companies, you have to be a lot more careful. A lot of you guys, when I give you a proposal, you guys ask, what is this, an admitted company? Is this a California company? Where are they from? How do I know if they're covering their good company? So there's ways to find out financials, and claim history of the insurance companies. One of the best ways is AM Best rating. So AM Best is a rating bureau that oversees all of the carriers, not just California admitted carriers, and they give them a rating. So anything that's below A, you shouldn't be buying insurance from them. In matter of fact, my professional insurance policy for me will not cover if I make a mistake and sell you anything other than A. So that's how much attention you need to put on this specific thing. No carrier that's less than A as far as rating. And then try to find out claim reputation, obviously. And then number one thing for me is policy forms and the quality of the coverages. It's not like an admitted carrier. So you can pretty much say, let's say, Mercury and Farmers, if you have a policy, they're very similar. But in non-admitted companies, let's say Westchester or WFKC, completely different policies. Same limits, same rental income coverage, same deductible, but are completely different as far as what they will cover and how they will cover. So it's very important to know and go review those non-admitted quotes. I see that a lot where a lot of clients make a mistake in purchasing a policy in just comparing rates, and that's the worst thing you can do. Just don't look at the rates only. Make sure you guys are looking at coverage forms and exclusions and endorsements. Make sure that's on your proposal as well. I've seen a lot of quotes that are just coverages presented by the insurance agent, doesn't highlight any of the exclusions, any of the endorsements. And I'm not sure how you're supposed to make an educated guess of what's covered if it's just, the premium only on the proposal. So you have to review all that stuff. One thing you can do on the non-renewals, obviously, if an insurance company sends you a list of things that you need to do to get a renewal, actually doing those things, but sometimes it's very expensive, especially like the electrical panel and plumbing issues. So there's some name brands that insurance companies will not accept, like Zinsco, Federal Pacific, Challenger. There's a list of them. But there's some good news coming up where some of the underwriters will only make you change the electrical panels if it's Zinsco or Federal Pacific. So some of the other ones like Stop Lock, Square D, and some of the other name brands like Bulldog, those are starting to kind of ease up on. They weren't really on any uh, list of prohibited panels. So we're seeing some change on that. So there's good news on that section of the electrical panels. What you can do to get better rates as far as the insurance, maintenance is number one thing. Insurance companies look at the building's maintenance. We Google the address, satellite images, anything we can find, all your rental advertisements online. They'll pull up pictures of the interior that you posted whenever you guys were looking for a tenant. So they'll look at all this stuff. There's a lot of information out there. So make sure you guys are doing the same thing they would do. Just Google your own address, see what they're seeing. If there's anything there you don't want, try to delete it. Because this is stuff that, let's say it's, there's an old picture of a kitchen and you did the update. So why is that picture still out there? Try to remove that listing or update the photo. These are all these things that we pay attention, and everyone looks at those details before they actually present you with a quote. Not the average companies, but the good ones will always look at those stuff before they present a quote.
He was talking about maintenance issues. He was talking about habitability claims. And I got two tenants at two different apartment buildings send me this picture. Look at that. It looks like attorneys are running out of people to sue, right? So they're directly advertising to tenants. And there's two different apartment buildings in two different cities. One was in Van Nuys and the other one was in Montebello. They both texted me this, they're loyal tenants. And then certainly I said, oh, haha, you can toss that. But it got me thinking. All it takes is one disgruntled tenant, for whatever reason he's upset, to get a flyer like that and look at it. And some of the things that are listed on there are like plumbing leaks, or do you have issues with cracked paint? And if you look at the settlement amount, 100,000, 75,000 they've got listed. And I'm going, man, a lot of people who own buildings in LA, they're older, and certainly you do have sometimes maintenance issues like this. A lot of times it may be frivolous, and I don't see anybody in here being a slumlord, but how long and how much is it going to take you to fight this off? It's not so much you winning or losing, but how much money is it going to take for you to fight this off? So I said, you know what? I'm curious. How many people in here actually inspect your units? Do you go into your tenants and how often? How often? Actually, how many of you inspect units? Okay. Would you say you guys inspect them annually? Okay. I decided to incorporate annual inspections now going into my units. I didn't. I'm being honest. I'm being an honest landlord. I did not go into any of my tenants' units. I haven't been in there for years. I wait until they text me or call me and say there's an issue, and then I walk in. And then I go, oh, look, they painted the walls. Ha, I didn't know. So once I got this, I said, you know what? In today's climate, I need to switch this up. Even though my tenants are loyal, I need to figure out a way where I can document something, because all it takes is just, like I said, one tenant to just be upset. And there you go. You go down the rabbit hole. So I started incorporating what's called annual smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector inspections, right? Something simple. I don't want to know what's going on in your unit. I'm just going to walk in with my maintenance team. His name is Raphael, and we're just going to check to make sure all the smoke detectors inside your unit is working. So I issued them, and I'm incorporating this now once a year in February. I issued them a 24-hour notice, and I said, tenant unit 201, I'll be there on this time between the hours of 9 to 12 to inspect your unit. Here's my notice. And with my notice, I decided to take it to a next step. I want them to also I want to document the fact that I did check these smoke detectors and they were working. So what I did was I also included what's called a tenant maintenance request form. Now, on this form, it's pretty simple. I put a happy little emoji that has a friendly little maintenance guy with holding up a wrench that I'm here to help you, right? And on this tenant maintenance request form, it doesn't look threatening at all. It just basically says, hey, I'm going to be here at this time. If there's something else that you want me to look at in your unit, let me know. Whether it's a broken screen, whether it's I don't know, some cracked thing where you have a leaky faucet. When they get this, they'll say, oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you about this one thing. I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, this could be a double-edged sword. Are they going to start listing all these things? I don't want you to think that. But if they do list all these things, now you are ahead of it, right? You're going to tackle this on one by one. Before it becomes a problem, you're able to go ahead and take care of it. So most of my tenants filled it out, and it was very minimal. One was a toilet paper holder that broke off. The other one had a broken screen that we fixed. Small little things that we were able to do on the spot while we checked their smoke detectors. Everything turned out okay, but I had their signature on file. It shows that on February 2026, I came in and you asked me, and I asked you if there's anything else in your unit that you want me to take a look at. You said yes or you said no, and you signed, and I filed it away. So I plan on doing this once every year. This to me made me feel better. I was like, okay, I will scan this, put it in the file, and now I can sleep well at night because if something like that letter shows up at someone's door, I don't want them to get any bright ideas. And if an attorney decides to knock on my door and be like, hey, no, I've got some letters here. I've been inspecting these units. He hasn't mentioned once to me about this mold issue or this possible moisture in his room. So that is my personal story. I hope maybe you can incorporate something like this or if you find it valuable. If you want a copy of my inspection notice or if you want a copy of my maintenance request form, go ahead and text the hotline. I'd be happy to share it with you. Take it and make it your own and start incorporating these annual inspections. Go in and check their smoke detectors. It's a good way to be able to say, hello, I'm here for you, tenant, whatever you need, let me know.